Hey everybody, welcome back to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron. It's been about a week since I've been in the shop. If you guys watched the last video, you know I was sick and it whooped my butt. The doctors said it wasn't COVID. They said it was an upper respiratory infection or something like that. They don't know what it was, but I don't know what it was, but it wiped me out. So back in the shop trying to get some stuff done. On the last video with Longstep, I left off talking about cutting out the speaker pockets that go in the cab corners, and I put some thought into it and I changed my mind. So this is the speaker pocket. You can kind of sort of see I drew a line on there where it needs to be cut, and it's really close to the edge. And it gets really close to that edge over there, and I really don't like it. So I thought about it, and I've got my template, and I went and got a piece of steel. It's about the same thickness, and I'm going to make a whole new plate that the speaker goes in, and then we're going to mount it to that plate to get our strength, or get more strength, and so it looks better and there's not gaps around the speaker and stuff like that. Once again, my OCD kicked in and I can't just halfway do it. I gotta overdo it. So that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do is take some measurements and see what size the pieces are gonna need to be and how exactly I'm gonna do it, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, you can kind of see I got this is going to be the overall length, and this is the width. I got my measurement here, and then I got some marks here. What I'm going to do is I'll mark all this out. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch all the way around, and then I'm going to try, without a brake or any proper tools, to bend this so it stands off a little bit. I'm only going to do one of these at a time because kind of a trial and error thing. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So if it doesn't turn out good on the first one, then I should still have enough material left to make another one, make 2 more. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to be able to use my bandsaw to cut this off because the throat's not deep enough in it, so I'm just going to grab a cut-off wheel real quick and I'll zip this off, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with the rest of it. Alright, I got my piece cut off. Needs to be cleaned up a little, but I can do that after I get done with more of the fab. These little squares in the corner that crossed over when I drew this out, I'm going to go ahead and cut those out so when I bend it the corners come together. Make it a little easier. Alright, I gotta put my hole in here, but I want to get this all bent up and everything before I cut the hole in it, because once I cut the hole in this, it's going to make this more flimsy, and I want it to kind of be as rigid as I can get it to do the bending. So, like I said, I don't have a brake or nothing, so the best I'm going to be able to do is probably just put it in the vise and try to bend it, tap it with a hammer, or whatever I can do to try to get some clean bends on it. I'm going to go ahead and mark out my hole that I got to cut just to make sure that everything's going to fit, and then we'll start bending it. Okay, so I'm going to take this back over on my cutoff wheel, and I'm just going to kind of score these lines just a little bit to make it bend a little easier. So I'll get that knocked out, and we'll start bending it. Okay, I didn't go real deep. I just put some put some grooves in it so it bends a little easier. So now we're just going to put it in the vise here. You guys over here where you can see a little better. And then I'm just gonna Okay, so we've got the basic shape we want. Like I said, now I'll take a hammer and dolly and tap these corners together, tap it straight, and then we can cut our hole out for our speaker. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll tack these closed with the welder when I tack it to the rest of the bracket. And then I got a plasma cutter. I'm gonna plasma this out. Probably should have marked it on this side to begin with, but it'll be alright. I think I want to use the plasma cutter. Probably be the easiest. We'll try it. We'll set that up, see what happens. I changed my mind. Not going to use the plasma. I'm going to try that little buzzsaw I got first, see how it does. After I put a new battery in my drill. Being that this is only like 16 gauge or something small, I don't really want to get all the heat from the plasma cutter in it. And so I'm going to try that little buzz saw and see how it works out. Go through my whole stash of drill bits here and see if I got anything that'll drill through this 16 gauge. There we go. And the blade will fit in there. Not sure if this blade's any good. I've been using it quite a bit. Might have to go get a new one. Yeah, I gotta go get a new blade. Okay, I got my rough cut. Now I'm going to take a little sander, sand it around, and then we'll set the speaker in there and see how it fits. Okay, I got my hole all cleaned up. Speaker fits in there pretty good and tight. Obviously we'll put some screws in there to hold the speaker. Now on this part, obviously the back of the speaker still won't fit through that hole. So I marked the ends of my box I made here, and I'm just going to take this and cut it right there, and then we'll tack weld that to this. So that should work out good. So I'm going to get this cut and we'll get it cleaned up, and then we'll start tack welding it on there. Alright, I'm just going to come over here on the bandsaw and try to cut as much of this as I can. See how well it goes. Dang foot pedal. Okay, so I can't really get in there any further with the bandsaw, and I got to cut down this side as well. So I'm just gonna get a cut-off wheel out, and I'll finish cutting this. Okay, I just got this tack welded together. I'm welding it on the back side so I can clean it better and you won't really see it. And I test fitted it in here and put the speaker in it, and everything seems to fit pretty good. Like that. The speaker goes in, doesn't touch anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld it up and we'll clean it up. Okay, I kind of forgot what I was doing here. The filming part anyways. I went ahead and got my new speaker mount all welded up and ground down and sanded and scuffed and cleaned and ready for paint. And I forgot to update you guys or film any of it. And I've decided I'm not gonna do the second one today. I'm still not feeling 100%, and just what I did on this one already is kind of taking it out of me. So I'll get back to it another day, but I just wanted to show you guys one of them. So the other one I can just knock out real quick without filming. But sitting here in the paint booth. Got the oven turned on to bake it, and it turned out pretty good. The welds, they're going to be on the back side. You won't see them, so I still cleaned them up halfway decent, but I didn't go all the way to like bodywork finish. But on the front side, it looks really good. You can't hardly see the welds at all, if at all. So I got it all sanded down, prepped, ready to paint. I'll probably wipe it down again since I just touched it, but maybe not. I don't think I've ever painted on a video, so we'll go ahead and throw a light coat on this real quick. I love this paint. You gotta really get carried away with it to get it to run or whatever, and it's kind of like self-leveling. Spray it on there pretty thick and it kind of smooths itself out and looks good. So I got one side on there painted. I'm gonna have to let it dry for a while before I can flip it over. It's still pretty cold here. For Alabama anyways, it's pretty cold. Next thing I'm gonna do is we finally got the right bumper mount brackets in. We ordered them way back whenever I said that we had the wrong ones that day, and they finally came in, so I can put those on, put the rear bumper on. The backup lights, reverse lights finally came in, so we can put those on. And then if you remember from the other videos, I got all my wiring wire tied up to the cross member down there, so we can pull it out and we can get everything on the back wired in, and then all the light harness and all that'll be done. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. So we'll start throwing that bumper on. Okay, so the bumper mount kit consists of 2 of these frame brackets and 2, these are frame brackets also, but they go out to the edges of the bumper. They're marked right hand and left hand, which I would assume passenger side would be the right hand and driver's side would be the left hand. But when I hold these brackets up where they should go, it doesn't work that way, because this bracket clearly has to go on the inside of the frame rail. This has to go on the outside, and to put this on the inside, this lip here would hit in the channel of the frame. So I'm going to go out on a limb and just assume that their idea left and right and my idea left and right are different. Came with all the hardware, so we're gonna get our brackets. Gonna take our right hand bracket. Yeah, it has to go this way. Take our right hand bracket and put it on the left side. And the bolts that they send you don't even fit in the brackets. Yeah, they kind of do, just a powder coating. So we'll go ahead and try to get these started all the way in here first. Alright, go up here, be careful not to scratch any paint. I can't do that either. Bed mounting bolts in the way. You guys having fun yet? This is how you do it twice method. Alright, and then take our this has got me confused. Being backwards. Does it seem backwards to you guys too, or am I just an idiot? Because that's likely also. I'm glad I decided to put the brackets on the frame before I put them on the bumper, because I'm going to leave them loose so I got some room to move it and adjustment. But if I would have followed the stickers on here for which side they go on, they would have been way off. Unless I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the mark backwards, because other than that I can't figure it out. So we'll put them on this way and we'll see what happens. Once again, this is the do it twice method, so there's a good chance we're gonna have to take it off and do it again. Okay, so we got the brackets on, hand tight. I'm gonna go get the bumper mounting hardware and the bumper, and then we'll throw it up here and see how it looks. Alright, before I can put the bumper on, I've got our license plate mounting bracket, and it goes in here. Actually, before I do that, to make this easier on me, we got our license plate light, goes here. Got 2 screws. Got that on, and then this is going to go in here. Okay, those are square top, square lock-in carriage bolts like these that go in from the outside of the bumper. Let me go ahead and tighten them down. I did a good job of oiling this bumper up so it wouldn't rust in packaging. I have to take a shower here in a minute to get all this oil off. Okay. Now let's see if I can do this by myself without damaging anything. Pretty sure we can. I've done at least one of these before. Okay, we got the bumper on and mounted up. I'll show you the best I can. But there's a door here and it's cold outside, so I'm not going to open it. So there's not much of a straight on view there, but I wiped it down with some window cleaner to try to get some of that oil and stuff off. That's all I really had. Needs a little bit of adjustment, but that'll be easier to do with two people, and my dad's coming down to visit in a couple days again, so I'll have him come over and help me hold it while I adjust it. But I measured it and it's not that far off. I mean, just maybe 1/4 of an inch. But I'm a perfectionist, so I gotta adjust that 1/4 of an inch. But next thing I'm gonna do is throw the reverse lights on. And then once I wire the rear lights in, pretty sure everything on the back of the truck is done. Except for the fuel fill neck, but that's not really on the back, it's kind of in the middle. But you know what I mean. So we'll throw those lights in, and that stuff will need to be wired up, which I might do today, I might not. I'm wearing out pretty fast here. So let's throw those lights on and we'll go from there. Okay. Another thing we've been waiting for a while is the backup lights. And we got those now, brand new. So super easy to install. I got studs on the back, put some lock washers and some nuts on them, and tighten them down. And there is a side that says top, so you kind of want to make sure you get that at the top. I had to run to the hardware store and get these nuts because nothing comes with hardware anymore. But in my run to the store to get them and come back, I've decided I'm not going to wire these today. I'm running out of juice real fast. Probably should have took another day or two off, but it's Friday, last day of my normal work week, and I didn't have any content for a video. So I came over here and made some content, put up a video for you guys, because that's my whole drive, is making these videos. I really enjoy doing the YouTube, so. want to make sure I get a video out every week. Alright, just like if you watched the video where I put the tail lights on, I told you about using the star washers because the lights ground through these brackets and it kind of cuts into the paint and makes a better ground. I did the same thing with this, and then when I go to wire this, I'll bring these wires down and make them go into one loom with this wire, and then I'll run them all over through this hole here in the bed and hook everything up underneath where you can't see it. But that's going to be the backup lights. I'm going to go ahead and throw the one on the other side, and then I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so we got both our backup lights on. Parking lights have been on. Bumpers on. License plate mount and license plate light, if you can see it up in there. But I love new clean lights, new lenses, new lights, especially when you get them all hooked up and the bulbs are on and everything's crisp and bright. It's one of my favorite things. I put them on old turd trucks just because I like having nice lights. It's kind of weird, but you know, everybody's got their thing. So like I was saying when I was putting that light on, I think I'm gonna call it for the day. I came over today to get a video up for you guys because that's what I do. One more thing real quick. We never got the other side of this speaker grill or mount painted. So before I get out of here for the day, go ahead and get some paint on the other side. Now that the other side's had some time to dry and I can flip it over. So alright, that should do it. Today's Friday. I don't normally work on the weekends because I got kids and a wife and all that, and spend time with them. So I can dry over the weekend. I'll come back next week, build the other one. Honestly, from over here with paint on it, you can't even tell I built it. So by the time I get it in the truck, get the speaker in it, and it's mounted and the seats in and all that, you'll never see it anyways. But it turned out good. I'm happy with it. Looks pretty good. So this video doesn't have a whole ton of content in it, but it's got some, and got some noticeable stuff done to the truck, which is always nice. That way when I walk by it and look at it, it looks a little bit different. Next week I want to finish the wiring. I have not wired anything on the motor or the sniper yet, or basically in the engine compartment. We got a couple wires to finish up for the vintage air. We'll get the motor wired, get the sniper wired, get the washer, motor, and pump wired. And then I have all the glass except the windshield. The windshield showed up broken, so we had to work with them and get another one coming, and it has not arrived yet. But I want to get the glass in before I do the interior, because if we have to push it outside or just sitting in here in the dust, I mean, this thing's dusty. I don't want to put all the brand new fresh interior in there and have dust sitting all over it and whatnot. So wire the engine, wire the sniper, and then I'll start putting the glass that I have in. I got all new components for the vent windows, so I'll show you guys how to rebuild those. And then we'll put our window regulators in, our door glass in, Got a brand new back window. I've got all new seals. And with any luck, by the time I'm doing that, the windshield will show up. We can throw that in too. And then it'll be a downhill slide. Still got a bunch of stuff I got to do underneath. Drive shaft, emergency brake, some connections on the transmission, the shifter linkage, stuff like that. But it's coming along. It's getting close. But I'm going to go home and edit this video so I can get it up for you guys. And then I'm gonna maybe take some aspirin. Definitely probably take a nap. But thanks for watching. You guys are great. Subscribe if you're not. Like, comment. I enjoy the comments and I try to respond to everybody. I got the link in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee if you want to do that. But other than that, thanks again. Y'all have a good one and we'll see you next time.